Okay, so before we get started with this very next panel, I have a quick question for y'all. How many of y'all like good food that tastes good but also has really good ingredients? Anybody here? Because at this day and age, you just can't be putting anything in your bodies. Well, if that is you, get ready for an exciting conversation. We are going to talk about reclaiming the aisle, taste, power, and the business of culture. Now, this conversation explores how today's consumers are demanding authentic flavor, real ingredients, and cultural integrity in the food space. Now, if you're anything like me, I love things that taste good, but I love and like things that are also good for my body as well. From revolutionizing aisles to building culturally rooted brands, this session highlights how creativity, community, and consumer power are reshaping, how founders are turning culture into ownership and opportunity. And we're going to have a conversation all about it. And here's the good news. For all of you who have stayed around, I heard that we got some good samples that are going to be coming around in the aisle in just a second. So if you stop by the We Love Us stage for this session, we got something super special with your name written all over it. So here to moderate this magnificent panel, we have the one and only Miss Allison Roberts. Can we give her some love as she makes her way to the stage? Now, joining this Miss Allison about taste, power, and the business of culture is a phenomenal panel that you can learn from, especially when it comes to your food. Joining Allison, we have Randy Pulayya of West Indies Peppa Sauce. Come on up to the stage, Randy. Joining Randy and Allison is Kayisha Thompson of De La Cour Cakery. All right, and last but certainly not least, we have Rosie Tolbert of Rosie Eats. Let's go ahead and give this panel a warm round of applause as they take the stage for Essence Fest 2026.
Oh, wow, that was a great introduction. Thank you so much. I want to say good afternoon to everyone, the Essence family. Welcome to New Voices at the Essence Festival. I'm Allison, Allie K. Roberts, founder of Sistah Chatta and the host of the Sistah Chatta radio show. And I want to say thank you to Essence and New Voices, creating spaces where Black founders can be seen, heard, celebrated, and supported. Today, I have the honor and the privilege of moderating a conversation that is both timely and important. Let's get started. Okay? Guess we're going to have a seat. Okay, guys, so today we are talking about reclaiming the aisle, Black taste, power, business, and culture. Today we're talking about ownership, visibility, community, and legacy. Let's meet our panelists. We have Kayisha Thompson from Deloitte.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Kayisha Thompson. I'm the Cake Executive Officer of Deloitte Cakery. We are a 5-star cake artisanal company located in Brooklyn, New York, and we ship tantalizing joy and connections to your doorstep in the form of liquor-infused cake jars, cookie mixes, fresh-baked cookies, and locals can enjoy cupcakes and our charcuterie board.
Okay. Listen, we like that infused cake. We all love that infused cake. Okay, next we have Randy Pulayya of West Indies Peppa Sauce.
Awesome. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Randy Pulayya. I'm the founder of West Indies Pepper Sauce. We're the premium brand of Caribbean flavors on shelves. I often say our cultures are on shelves, but our people are not. West Indies Pepper Sauce is in the building, and we are currently on a TV show called The Hot Ones Caribbean Edition with our yellow Scotch bonnet pepper sauce.
Yes.
And Martha Stewart's magazine called us Caribbean Sunshine in a Jar. And we just recently got featured to be on the Food Network, so happy to be here.
Okay. Well, last but not least, we have Miss Rosemary Tolbert of Rosie Eats. Welcome, Rosie.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rosemary, but you can just call me Chef Rosie. I am a baker. I'm a chef. Our signature Our signature cakes have been at Essence for the last, I want to say, 6 or 7 years. We normally have a booth, but this year we do not. I also ship our infused rum cake to doors, just like Delora. We ship nationwide. We also ship internationally. You can find us at www.rosieeats.com. And I am also a private chef. We also do, I do catering. I do also prepackaged foods. My background is from West Africa, but I've dabbled in everything from Northeastern American flavors, Southern flavors, Spanish flavors. So we do a little bit of everything, and we ship our foods nationwide as well.
Okay. Well, please help me welcome our amazing panelists. We're going to get right into some questions because I know we all have some questions that we would like to ask them. Now, every successful business starts with the story. Now, Randy, I interviewed Randy and his wife a couple weeks ago on my show. So I want to ask you, Randy, what inspired you to start your business?
Yeah, I've been making my great-grandmother's pepper sauce for the last 20 plus years. My wife and I actually have lived in Vietnam and South Korea. We met in New York at the airport while we were traveling. Been around the world, been to 60 countries across 6 continents. We recognize that food culture is dying, and we wanted to do our part to represent the 42 million Caribbean diaspora. And we actually started our business doing farmers markets in Orlando, Florida. 1 month after the launch, I actually got laid off of my job on the day of my 40th birthday. 3 months later, my wife got laid off, and we told our kids, when life gives you peppers, we make pepper sauce.
That's right.
So we're all in. We're in retail stores. We're online, and we are expanding our business globally.
Okay, that sounds great. Kayisha, what inspired you to start your business?
So for me, creativity is a business. When I started my business, it did not come out of a need. It came out of wanting to be creative and curious. So I walked into a Joann's fabric store and saw a sign for cake decorating. I always knew how to bake, but I didn't know how to create show-stopping cakes. And so I took those courses, all of the Wilton industry courses. My instructor approached me and said, "You're a fast learner. We would like to invite you to join us as an instructor and teach all the kids' classes."
Oh, wow.
And so I started teaching all of the kids' classes. I posted all of the videos online and the images from the classes online. People started reaching out to me to book classes. And that's where Delore Cakery was born.
Oh, wow.
And so after that, I applied for the Joann's Minority Grant a couple years later, which was a full circle moment for me, being that I learned at Joann's Fabric, and then they offered a scholarship, a grant. And I used that fund to launch a culinary education program for students in New York City. So after school, from like 2:30 to 4 o'clock, I teach culinary and pastry arts program to students from grades kindergarten up through middle school.
That's awesome. Giving back to our youth. That is awesome. Rosie, now let's hear your story. What inspired you to start your business?
I think I was born into food. My entire family are foodies.
Okay.
My grandmother, my mother, they always were the first of everything.
Mm-hmm.
They introduced everything. So I think I just grew up knowing that I too had to share and produce and be a first in what I do. And so when I started my business, it was more so where people were like, "Oh my God, Rose, your food is so good and your food is so authentic." It reminds me of my grandmother, it reminds me of my mom, it reminds me, those flavors, like you say, that were getting lost,
Yes. Yes.
And so I just felt like, okay, well, that's the natural course of what it is that I needed to do. And so I started my business based on good flavor, good culture, good food, and trying to educate people, because at the end of the day, you can have a really bad day, you can have a really bad month, but when you sit down and you're eating something, it kind of gives you that comfort. It kind of gives you a feel like, oh my God, I'm getting my mom or my grandmother's hands wrapped around me. And so that's what carries me with my food, and that's what I try to do.
Okay. Listen, we all have those family recipes, and to be able to do that, that's an amazing thing. That's an amazing thing. Now, Randy, how do you stay authentic while growing your audience? Because you have a huge audience.
Yeah, we're West Indies pepper sauce whips. We're an unapologetic brand. Starts off with our packaging, right? We're in a jar. When you go down the hot sauce aisle, you typically see a woozy bottle with hot sauce. Again, we represent the Caribbean diaspora, so we are in a jar for cultural reasons. As we grow our business, we pay homage to my great grandmother's recipe, which is 4 generations of flavor. We use clean ingredients. There's no citric acid, no xanthan gum, and so we sit on the premium side of the shelves. So authenticity is really near and dear to who we are as a brand, and that's best essentially what you see online from a social media perspective. We're out there in the community. We got into Sprouts Farmers Market across the state of Florida. We're getting ready to expand nationwide. We are having those conversations with those premium retailers.
Yeah.
Those premium retailers, they have an eye out for brands like us. 67% of consumers right now in today's marketplace are looking for clean label products with cultural heritage. The hot sauce industry is currently $3 billion right now, set to be $9.8 billion. West Indies pepper sauce is at the table.
That's right. That's what it's all about. Bringing black excellence into the stores,
Right.
correct? Yes. Now, Kayisha, how does culture show up in Delore Cakery?
So how culture shows up in Delore Cakery, it's woven through all of my products. My best-selling product is strawberry hibiscus, seductive strawberry, which is a strawberry hibiscus cupcake.
Ooh.
So it's a vanilla cupcake with a strawberry compote, white chocolate buttercream, and then what we use is a Jamaican white rum, Ray and Nephew, and we make a rum-infused sauce that goes into the compote. And so that's our best-selling flavor. Right behind that is Wicked Dark Chocolate. It's a dark chocolate cake with 3 to 4 different types of cocoa powders that's mixed into that cake. And one of those cocoa powders is from Jamaica, and the other cocoa powder is from Italy. So I'm very big on sourcing international ingredients, clean ingredients that goes into our products.
Oh, I love that. Woo! Listen, I love that Ray and Nephew. Listen, I love it. I am all here for it. Now, Miss, what would you say? What do you hope people feel when they experience your brand?
So for me, like I said, I always my mom, my grandmother, they've always been the first to introduce as women. Back when they started cooking and baking, my grandmother actually started the first canteen in a university.
Oh wow!
And she died when she was 90, and that was about 6 years ago. So you can imagine, in her 20s, she was trying to put canteens in university. And so everything that I do as a woman and as someone who values flavor, authenticity, culture, I try to infuse that into my food, into my ingredients, in terms of sourcing, but also just in terms of educating. So if I'm catering for someone, I will definitely do something like a jerk chicken with a jollof rice with plantains, but I'm always trying to introduce one aspect of my menu that it's something that they've never had before. Because I feel like the more you educate people about who you are and your culture, the more you can claim and you can stand firm into who you are.
Okay, yeah. Now let me ask you guys all this same question, okay? What's been your biggest challenge growing your brand? Starting with you, Randy.
So, as a bootstrap business, we're a husband-wife team. The expansion of our retail distribution is certainly one of our bigger challenges. Those conversations are they're long. You have to. There's a whole process to that, right? So I would say retail distribution and earned media, right? Like we are now getting that the recognition across the board, and I want to huge shout out to New Voices Foundation because we were a part of the PACE boot camp, and from there we are growing our network across the board. So we're actually getting the recognition from Martha Stewart's magazine. We just got a big shout out from Food Network about being on the top 20 brands for 2026 trending brands. And of course we love hearing that. But, you know, we keep it real at West Indies Pepper Sauce. We've been trending for the last 4 generations.
That's right. I love it. I love it. Now, Kayisha, how do you feel? What's your biggest challenge growing your brand?
So the biggest challenge growing the brand, talent isn't the barrier, access to capital is. If I wanted to go and get my PhD, I could get that fully funded tomorrow. Where getting a small business loan, it has been a struggle. But I live in New York City, and thanks to my relationship with Queens Chamber of Commerce, they connected me to a platform called Kiva, Kiva.com.
I've heard of that.
And I was able to run a funding campaign where I was able to raise almost $10,000 in capital to expand Delord Cakery, bump up my marketing, and elevate my packaging. So I know across the board for a lot of small business, talent isn't the issue, it's the access to capital. But there are resources out there. Tap into Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce, Queens Chamber of Commerce, the Small Business Association, and there's supports out there for you.
And Rosie, what's your biggest challenge?
I agree with both of them, but just to add something a little bit different, I would say that because we're dealing in culture, we're dealing in authenticity, I think scaling and trying to maintain our flavors and our ingredients has been one of the biggest challenges as well. Because I don't think that right now the market, when it comes to third-party packaging and third-party producing, I don't think that they understand the qualities that we're looking for in our foods, and so they can't really match it right now. So it's up to us to educate them to say, okay, these are the things we need in terms of preservatives. These are the things that we need in terms of packaging. These are the things that we need in terms of ingredients to be able to scale our businesses. For example, I'm trying to merge into the food packaging of my authentic sauces and things like that. And so when you're doing that, you have to step out into your third party, and that's where I think we have a lot of challenges.
Okay, well, hopefully things like this will be able to close that gap, and we'll be able to get more of our foods, more of our packaging and everything done in the system. Okay? We have to go fast now. I want to ask you guys really quick, 5 or 10 years from now, what do you hope people would say about what your brand stood for? And what do you want to leave?
So 5, 10 years from now, West Indies Pepper Sauce, we'll be expanding our retail distribution across the U.S. market. But that's not where it ends, right? You know, 95% of the world's consumers live outside of the United States. You will see West Indies Pepper Sauce in global markets. Those specialty retail stores when you visit London, or if you are in South Africa, Cape Town, going to a fine dining restaurant, you will be able to see West Indies Pepper Sauce in places like that. And also from an e-commerce perspective, we will be out there as well. We certainly will be expanding our full product line. Again, consumers are looking for that level of authenticity. Whips will be that premium brand on shelves, and we will not be changing our recipe out there. So that's where you'll see us. Thank you so much.
Yes. Kayisha?
So for me, 5 to 10 years now, in regards to Delord Cakery, it's twofold for me. So I have a culinary education program as well as a CPG consumer packaged good. So I do want to expand that where I am working with a co-packer to get my products on shelves, but I want to remain committed to working with the youth and the community through my STEAM Forward culinary education program. I was a teacher in a high school, and in the high school program, we offered a full culinary program in the high school that had a leverage to college at a discounted rate for those students. So I decided to build out a program, and it's a twofold program. So the first program, the curriculum, is for kindergarten through middle school, which is more of an after-school activity program. And on the high school side, I've woven in the culinary education, the chemistry behind baking, the entrepreneurship, and teaching them about consumer packaged good. So my goal is to build impact in the community and joyful connections. And if joyful connections happen along the way and I'm inspiring youth, then that's my legacy.
Okay. And Miss Rosie?
Well, I hope that we can continue shipping our cakes and our food nationwide. I hope that we can also, within 5 to 10 years, see them within our specialty stores and supermarkets. But more importantly, as people see them and recognize them, it's also been a bridge that kind of brings all of our different backgrounds together and kind of puts all of us out there to say, okay, this is our food, and we can claim it and say, you know, this is who we are. Because right now, you know, we're a little bit separated. You know, we've got the Caribbean, we've got the African, we've got the, you know, the Southern. But I think what I want my food to be, I want my food to be that connector that goes out there. And when you see it, you're like, oh my God, yes, this is who we are. And like we say here, we love us.
Yes.
You know? So.
Well, everyone, that's the end of our panel. Today we talked about culture and we talked about community and legacy. I want you guys to always remember to support our Black-owned businesses, right? Buy, share, review, recommend. And I want to say thank you to our panelists, New Voices, and the Essence Festival. So we want to say thank you to everything. And also, Kayisha has something she wants to give away, 2 packages.
I brought sea salt chocolate chip cookies from New York City. They traveled with me. There's samples that's being passed around. If you have a nut allergy, the chocolate is created in a facility that does house nuts. So if you have a nut allergy, unfortunately, you can't have one. And they have bourbon in it. So please be aware of that. It's baked out into it. It leaves the flavor behind.
Okay. Well, we want to thank you all for stopping by to our panel today, Reclaiming the Black Aisle. I'm Allie Kay. Check me out on sisterchatteradio.com. And
Yep.
Randy,
and you can follow West Indies Pepper Sauce. We're here at a booth in the We Love It section. And we're online on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at shopwhips.com.
And for Delore Cakery, on the cookies, there's a QR code. You can scan it and join our newsletter, and we send random coupons and updates.
And for us, it's Rosie Eats, ROZIEATSNY on Instagram. And on our website, it's www.rosieeats.com.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Have a wonderful
Essence.
time and enjoy Essence.
Thank you, everyone.